All right, I'm here at the Soulsby table at SYNTH number 2, and with me is Paul, with whom I'm talking to a little bit about your new products that you're having here.
Oh yes, yeah. Got the Atmegatrons on show again, and the mini Atmegatron kit there, and the new Ossitron Eurorack module, which really is now very close to completion, like final stages, final prototype. So hopefully a month or so away now from manufacture. Demoing the strings that came out, sort of been out a month or so now. And then the Ossitron Special Edition, which was released earlier this year. Just showing the different audio engines that you can flash onto it.
So it's basically one device, but you can send your own kind of software on there, and you provide a few different kinds of versions like yourself, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's sort of seven official audio engines, but you can tweak it and modify it as much as you want. The number of audio engines is growing all the time, and and then that will be the case with the Ossitron too. It's got the main software at the moment, but the idea is that there'll be different versions that come out, and you'll be able to clamp down the overlays onto the wood.
Okay, so and do you provide those overlays for the customer, and do they ship like with the modules or?
So if you get an Ossitron, you get the programmer cable and 3 overlays with it. So I haven't actually got all 3, but these are the professionally printed ones here on the vinyl. You get 3 different engines, sort of the most popular ones that can be put on here. But then you can also download them from the website and print yourself. These ones I just cut out myself at home. They're not quite as nice, but they're completely functional. And the plan is to sort of do more of the professional ones. It's a tricky one at the moment. I'm sort of working out cheaper ways to manufacture low quantities of them, because to do them professionally you have to make a lot and they cost a lot. So but there will be more professional overlays for sure.
And if I wanted to program my own synth engine there, or my own variation of your engines, how would I go about that?
So basically, it's all on GitHub. All the code is all up there. And I'd say things have got a bit more complicated since the very first Atmegatron. Now everything is done in C++ libraries, which it actually, once you've got your head around how it works, is actually simpler than the original massive Arduino sketch, which was like multi-tabbed and ran on. So the code is actually more streamlined. It means everything's more organized into the classes. A good approach would be to sort of like tinker around, maybe change put your own wavetables in initially. Just try maybe changing the order of the audio, the order of the processing. So instead of doing the order of processing I've got, maybe put your own, flip stuff about. I'd say definitely that would be the best way. Experiment with the code that's there originally, knowing that you can always download it again from the website and just put it all back to how it was. It just depends how in-depth you want to get. Things like the Ossitron, the code is very specific to the Atmega processor. To do that many analog style features on an 8-bit processor required a lot of using interrupts and tips and tricks to get things to process in time. So this one's a more complicated one, but then just using sort of the simpler ones like the drum machine and things, very, very easy to hack away at. And you can upload your own samples to that as well now.
Okay, nice. And could you maybe tell me a little bit more about the company, Soulsby? Like, when did you start, and what's your concept like behind the stuff you do?
So I started in 2013. Then it was 2014 that the first version of this came out as a test run. 2015, then the production run, and then 2016 the special edition. And the 2015 also the kit came out as well. And I think it was, I did new Arduino programming. I hadn't thought about doing synthesizers with it at all, but I sort of became interested in it, and I knew all about synthesis, since since I can remember. So it was just one of those projects that grew over the first 6 months of the company. It wasn't like I had some mega business plan or anything. It wasn't like on this date I will make this synthesizer or anything. It just sort of grew, and I found it interesting. And that's always been the company philosophy is like, you know, I hope that if I find something interesting, other people will too. And so anything I put out is doesn't usually have much of a commercial strategy behind it. It's usually just like I think this sounds cool, and that's why the Auditron was in programming for a year. I just didn't feel it didn't sound good enough. It didn't have all the features or the sounds that I wanted in just quite the right way. So I do sort of keep plugging away at something until I'm sort of happy with it. So yeah, that's kind of, I'd say, the company philosophy.
All right, cool, thanks. And about the Eurorack module, yeah, you already said there will be overlays too that you can clamp onto there with the wood brackets there. What kind of CV control do you have? Because that's obviously very important for modular synths.
CV. So I mean, it's got all down the left-hand side. It's got CV controls here. There's actually 2 different styles. You've got these 2 here. Are volts per octave, the filter and pitch volts per octave, 1 volt per octave, with this being a kind of like a fine tune of that, whereas these 3 are your more standard, where this is your bias offset, and these are sort of full range. Then you've got this capture here. That'll actually change its name. That'll be a clock, and that'll be a universal clock input. That'll control various things like cycling wavetables, and so that has multi-features. Then you've got the audio input there. That's standard Eurorack audio range, and audio output the same. So obviously in its normal version that it comes with, they all do the things as labelled on them, but it gives you a nice palette of hardware to then do different audio engines in the future. So yeah, that's where that's at the moment.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot. And yeah, have fun here at SYNTHfest. Thanks.
Thanks.